All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
When the snow is gently falling, covering the ground, and the laughter of the children is the sweetest sound. There's magic in the air as the evening starts to glow. With our hearts wide open, it's the time we let love show. We gather round the fireplace, sharing tales of old, of Christmases remembered, of warmth against the cold. It's a season of togetherness with hope that won't depart. So let's create a melody that will fill every heart. Let the sleigh bells ring, hear the chimes so clear, a lively song to sing.
Good evening, one and all, and welcome back to the X Zone. I am Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we will cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, and the X Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. right here on the Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, X Zone Broadcast Network, Tuber, and on Tuber you can watch us on Rogers, Shaw Media, and Videotron right here in Canada. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, and on all social media sites, X Zone Radio TV. Tonight on the X Zone Radio Show, X Zone Nation, we welcome a truly inspiring guest, Karen Forrest, internationally known as the Angel Lady. Karen is an angel communicator, spirit medium, author, and one of Canada's leading authors who writes books about angelic guidance and spiritual healing. Through her books, workshops, and private sessions, she has helped thousands discover comfort, clarity, and a renewed sense of spiritual connection. Now, with decades of experience and a warm, grounded approach, Karen brings forward messages of hope, healing, and empowerment from the angelic realm. Join us as we explore her extraordinary journey, her teachings, and her profound wisdom as she receives from angels who walk with each and every one of us. Joining us now from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, is the one and only the Angel Lady. And Angel Lady, welcome back to the X Zone. Always great seeing you, Karen.
Thank you. It's good to be back again.
Karen, for listeners meeting you for the very first time here on the X Zone, how did your journey and angel communications actually start? You know, what was the beginning of the Angel Lady?
Yeah, the beginning. Not in a way I expected. I didn't speak to dead people as a child. I've always believed in angels and kept it simple in my own life, communicating with God and angels when I was a child and growing up. But at a young age, when I was around 16, I made a firm decision with myself and commitment to myself and to God. I will follow my life path wherever that will take me. I didn't expect it to take me professionally talking to angels and dead people, not when my background is military mental health nurse. So when I was in the military, I started taking, just before I retired, I started taking extensive spiritual training to be able to communicate with angels and dead people. The very first angel course I went on, I remember listening to the presenter and thinking, wow, I want to be just like you when I grow up. And I was in my late 30s, just getting ready to retire from the military.
Was there a defining moment in your life when you realized you were meant to serve as a bridge between angels and humanity?
Oh, not till my late 30s. That's certainly not before then. My purpose was peace in the world with the military and working as a nurse, being a nurturer in that way. So really that didn't happen till I started taking more spiritual training because I was so just driven to do it. I just couldn't imagine not doing the training. And that's when I realized I now have more to offer, because when I started doing private sessions, communicating directly with angels and dead people, I could take my clients faster and further in their healing process than I could do as a traditional mental health nurse. So when I realized how effective and quick it was, and compared to my traditional approach as a mental health nurse counselor, I said, no, I got to do more than that.
Karen, you're affectionately known in Canada and around the world as the Angel Lady. Now, what does that title mean to you personally?
Well, it's a title I'm honored that people have given to me. People actually know me more as the Angel Lady than even Karen, which is always interesting when I'm in a crowd and I hear rumblings of, oh, there's the Angel Lady, and not one mention of my name, Karen, which is always funny to me. But it's because people know how passionate I am about angels and communicating with angels. So from that space, doing angel readings, talking to angels, and seeing my passion, people started referring to me as the Angel Lady.
Exonation, Karen Forrest is my special guest. Her website is KarenForrest.com. Many people feel angels are distant or symbolic, Karen. How do you explain what angels really are from your experiences as well as from your point of view?
Yeah. If people find them distant to them, I would say to take some time to develop a personal relationship. And it takes time, just like a friendship does. You have to practice with them, invoke them on a regular basis, talk to them like you would a friend, find a way to bring them into your personal life, then they will not feel so distant. Because before I did that, they were a little more distant to me. I was not bringing them into my everyday life because no one had ever taught me I could until I started taking my spiritual training.
So let me ask you this. How do angels most commonly communicate with people who may not, like you yourself, understand the art of communication with angels?
Sure, yeah, for sure. That's been a lot of practice to understanding that art. Still am, and 20 years later into this. The best way I tell people, trust your gut instinct. Your gut instinct is divine guidance, and that is angels included. So if you're trusting your gut instinct, whether that is through feelings or a sense of knowingness, or just know something feels right, if you trust that, that is a divine connection. That's coming from your higher self. And you ask anyone, they get their intuition. They know what that is for them. I just encourage people, please act on it and listen to it. Don't ignore it, because that's making life a little harder than necessary.
You've written several books on angel guidance, Karen. Which message from your books resonates most strongly in today's very complicated world?
Asking for angelic help in your everyday life. A lot of people don't think to do that. And that's how it makes it more personal and more daily and more peaceful in your life. When I started asking angels for everyday help, I started to become less anxious and less controlling and less tightly wound up. And I remember my family at first were teasing me, going, why are you so relaxed? Why are you so calm? And I'm like, it's because I'm working with the angels more. They're like, yeah, well, whatever that's about. It seems to be working for you. You're more relaxed.
For those people who are suffering or going through grief or loss, what role can angels play in this very emotional healing?
Very, very emotional. That's so much of my focus, including a mediumship, is helping people heal through a grieving process. So what can they do? You can feel comforted in a time you need that comfort. You can feel less alone when you're connecting with the divine source. You can also get very specific guidance on what do you have to do today as part of some of the practical things you have to deal with when there is a grieving process, whether because someone died or you ended a relationship or whatever it may be. And sometimes you need some very practical guidance on, oh gosh, what do I do? They're there to help you out with that.
Do angels communicate differently with individuals depending on their emotional or spiritual issues?
Definitely not necessarily differently. If you communicate with an angel or any dead person, it's either going to be feeling them, seeing them, hearing them, or having a sense of knowingness. So there's 4 different ways you're going to get the messages. They can give it to you in different ways because they're always trying to connect with you. So if you're not hearing them, then you might see a visual sign. If you're missing the visual sign, then it's going to come through a feeling. So they give you messages in different ways until you get the message. So I tell people, don't worry, you're going to miss a message. It's repetitive. It's going to come to you.
In your opinion, after doing angel readings over a number of years as well as communicating with angels, what are some of the most common misconceptions people have about angels and spiritual healings?
Sure. One of the most common misconceptions that I emphasize in all my books is that people worry that if they're going to ask the angels for daily help, that they're bothering the angels.
Right.
And I have to keep reminding them, you're now putting a human limitation on a divine source. Cut it out. If you ask for my help 20 times a day, I'll say you're a pain in my butt. Stop bugging me. I'm not an angel. You know I'm the angel lady. You ask an angel, which I do 20 times a day for something, that is pure love, pure light. There's no limitations. You're not bothering them. You're not bothering them. People worry, am I bothering them for asking for something that we label small?
Right.
And I'm like, no, I don't label. Angels don't label things big or small. I definitely do. And I call upon them for both. Small things like help me find a parking spot like I was asking for today. Two bigger things, help me do some healing when I hurt myself about a month ago in my shoulder. So I'll ask them for big or small things, but angels don't label it that way. They're there to help you with any aspect of your life.
Can anyone learn to hear or see or sense angels, or is it a gift only a few possess?
No, we all have it. Make it very clear to people I'm not special, but I have taken a lot of time to fine-tune my skills. It's practice and opening myself up to listening to them or hearing them or feeling them or sensing them around me. So I work with that. I ask them for their help. The more often I ask for the help, the easier it is for me to connect with them and understand when I see the results. So it's not that I'm special, and I really don't like when someone says they're special, because I'll call them on that and say, no, you're not. You just might have a few more skill sets than someone, but we can all get there if you practice like I did.
Do you think, I've got a minute before I have to go to my break, so this is going to be a very short answer. Do you believe that your religious beliefs help you as an angel lady?
My religion, it helped and hindered. It helped with faith because I've always had strong faith. It hindered me because my religion taught me don't bother them and don't ask them for small things and don't be bugging them. So it hindered me in that way.
X-Zone Nation, Karen Forrest is our special lady. She's known as the Angel Lady. Her website, www.karenforrest.com. And this is the X-Zone, a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard, Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. Eastern. And if you'd like to send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, and on all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And as I said at the beginning of the show, we're right around the world these days, thanks to you, the members of the X-Zone Nation, as well as the great guests that we have, like Karen Forrest. www.xzoneradiotv.com is our website, and if you'd like to listen to all the X-Zone Broadcast Network shows with our compliments, just go to www.xzbn.net. And of course, as I tell you, each and every segment, we're coming to you from the broadcast center right here in St. Catharines, Ontario, but we're also streaming around the world from our good friends at Classic 1220 CFAJ AM here in St. Catharines, and they stream us at classic1220.ca. Karen and I return on the other side of this break. Don't go away.
Of Christmases remember, of warmth against the cold. It's a season of together.
Under the stars of Bethlehem, so clear and bright, Mary held her newborn child that holy night. Joseph knelt beside her, humble and amazed, as heaven watched in silence, hearts in awe and praise.
Peace be to
Karen Forrest is my special guest, Exonation, KarenForrest.com. As the angel lady, how do you personally prepare yourself before conducting an angel reading or spiritual session, Karen?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Most of it is not just before, it's in my daily life. So I do spiritual practices like the biggest thing for me is keeping my vibrations high. So I'm doing things like asking Archangel Michael to cut any cords that can be draining me. I do chakra clearing. But just before a session, I will center myself and say, okay, angels, I need you to speak through me. And that's more for me to be clear that the messages is going to come from them. You do not want messages from Karen Forrest. You want messages from your angels. So I'm like, angels, through me, speak, but I need it to come from you. So I center myself and hold that intent.
You've spoken about the importance of protection when working in the spiritual realm, Karen. What are some of the essential steps people should take if they're going to try and communicate with angels or spirits?
Yeah, the first step, the most important step, is hold the intent of who do you want to communicate with. So if you're sitting there, I want to talk to my angels, and that's who I'm going to get the messages from, then that's who's going to come through because that's your intent. If you sit there and say, I want to talk to the boogeyman, well, boogeyman's going to come on through, right? So I don't worry about the devil coming through or sneaking on in or any nonsense like that because that's not who I'm holding the intent of communicating with. So that's the number one thing is my intent of who am I going to get the messages from. The second part is I am asking God and the angels to surround my sessions in divine white light, whether it's a message for myself or someone else. I always ask them surrounded in white light, which is a sacredness and a form of protection too.
Do you ever receive messages from angels that come through unexpectedly? Let's say you're out doing shopping, for example.
Yeah, sometimes that can happen. It'll be in relation to my life or what's going on around me. And angels are not intrusive. They're not going to tell me what's happening with someone else's life. So if in the bank line up, I can stand there quietly and not worry about that. Dead people, however, will try and come through, but I cut them off. I have strict boundaries. So sometimes I can be going about my business, and usually when my mind's quiet, like for example, when I'm driving, especially on the highway, and my mind's quiet, I'm just doing mindless highway driving, and then a thought will pop into my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so brilliant. This thought just answered a question I was thinking about 3 days ago. And really it's an answer to some guidance I asked angels about 3 days ago.
Wow.
But when my head's quiet, it pops in. Same when I'm out for walks or at the gym or like this morning swimming. I was swimming and I wasn't paying attention to anything. And all of a sudden something came into my head. I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot I asked about that. So when my mind's quiet, things will pop into my head.
What has been some of the most profound or memorable angelic messages you've ever received?
Yeah, there's been a few over the years. Certainly even in tougher times, like recently when I was separated and divorced a year and a half ago. And I was just asking angels, please just get me through this. This isn't a lot of fun to go through as a human, so there's a tremendous amount of loss there. But I remember the angels constantly saying, we'll get you through this. Because I didn't know if I could get through it. I thought I was going to crack. And they're like, no, you're not going to crack. We're going to get you through this. And they did day by day. And they got me through that process. And it took months to get through. So there's always that beautiful energy of hope and comfort that come through with the angels when I'm doing that.
What's it like when you actually get a message from the other side and it's either an angel or a spirit that's a child?
Oh, child. Oh, that's more emotional at times. First of all, one thing I notice when I communicate with children who have passed on, there is a beautiful sense of innocence I receive around them that I'm not going to get with an adult. I can tell right away, oh, this is a child. This is someone who died probably by the age of 7 or 8 because of the amount of innocence I feel around them. Then there's a simplicity in the beauty of their message, especially if they died as a miscarried child or as an infant. There's a beautiful simplicity of love in their messages. But they always make it clear, which surprised me at first, but I'm used to it now, is that even if they were a miscarried child, even if they died as stillborn or an infant or crib death, they are still part of the family. I'm proud to be part of the family.
I would imagine there's many times when you bring closure to a lot of grief that a family's been having.
That's exactly what I do. That's the process and my focus when I communicate with deceased people. It's healing through your grief, helping to give you some closure. And I found that in traditional mental health nursing and counseling, it would take me longer to get there and it wouldn't be as deep or meaningful. But as soon as I could bring in the aspect of talking to dead people, it brought a whole nother level of depth to it and meaning and like healing, because a lot of the focus is healing through unfinished business or having that closure. And I see it all the time. It's just so amazing that even I can do in one session that before in normal mental health would take me 6-7 sessions and still wouldn't feel satisfactory to me.
How do angels guide us, let's say, during times of global stress or uncertainty, such as what we're seeing today around the world?
Yeah, we definitely got that. Which is why I tell people more than ever, you really want to be connecting with some divine source, because the world's a little crazy. And you need to, when you take time to connect with that energy or ask for their help or bring them in your everyday life, it gives you moments of peacefulness, which makes it easier to get through some of the craziness. If I didn't have these strong spiritual practices into place,
Right.
I don't think I'd be doing as well. I really don't. Yeah. So they help balance us, remind us there's still goodness in the world, remind us there's still love, give us the hope to say, look, things can and will get better. And I like that energy of hope and faith.
For people who at times feel disconnected, stressed, or overwhelmed, what simple angelic practices can they use to kind of recenter themselves?
Yeah, the simplest one I encourage people to do is just sit there for like 30 seconds and say, angels, I just want to feel your love or your presence right now for 30 seconds. That's it. Then get on with your day. But sit there for 30 seconds and give yourself that permission to feel them. Start with that.
Would you say that angels intervene directly in our lives, or do they guide us subtly through intuition and synchronicities?
Both. I remember one time when I was driving, it was direct. I heard that deep booming voice coming down from heaven, which is not how I normally hear angels, but that one time I did because it was an emergency situation where Archangel Michael clearly told me, slow down, like with my driving, slow down more, slow down now. I heard it 3 different times. And basically he was saving me from a car accident. I just didn't know at first until it happened. So that was a little more intense, definitely direct. Other times it's more subtle. Something's telling you, I really should do this. And that's why I tell people, for heaven's sakes, act on it. They're trying to help you. They're trying to guide you. But if you're not acting on it, you're not going to get to where you're trying to get to in life. It makes life a little bit more harder, a little bit more of a struggle, or you can get stuck a little bit more. If you listen to that, they're guiding in ways you don't always understand. So, for example, I've had days where the angels are saying, when I'm asking, what do I need to do to stay in balance in life? And they tell me to take a couple of days off, and I can get a little snarky with that, going, no, angels, I don't have time. Like, do you see my schedule? And now you're stressing me more. And they're like, no, this is what you need to do. And then I do it because although I'm snarky with them and often ungracious with the messages I receive, but I will, bottom line, I will listen to them. They realize, oh yeah, they were right. I do feel so much better by doing something so simple like what they're telling me to do. Or yesterday or 2 days ago, they told me, Karen, you got to go to the beach and go for a walk. You really need to. It's been a couple of weeks since you've been at the beach. You really need to go center yourself. So I did. I took time out of my busy day and said, all right, I'm putting it in my calendar. I mean, driving to the beach, I'm lucky. I live in Prince Edward Island. I can get to the beach anywhere. It's only a 20-minute drive. And I made sure I bundled all up, toque and everything because it was cold out. And said, I'm going to do it, angels, when you're coming with me because it's cold out here. And I went out for a walk, but I felt so much better. So I could have ignored it and said, no, I don't have time for that foolishness, even though I know it's a good idea. I listened to them. I grumble, but I will listen. Bottom line, I'll do what they're telling me to do.
I wonder how many times a day the angels try to communicate with people and they just don't listen.
Oh, God, I'm sure multiple times a day. Even for me, and sometimes I'm busy or distracted. And they're trying to get my attention and they're not getting it right away. I don't get wrapped up about that. They're repetitive. It's going to come to me. I pay enough attention throughout the day. I will get the message. But even for me, I'm like, oh, just wait. I think you're trying to tell me something. I was kind of ignoring it because I was distracted with life and trying to cook a meal and do my grocery shopping and everything else.
Do all those things that we have to do here on Earth that they don't have to worry about in the angelic realm.
That's right. Yep.
As a medium, as well as an angel communicator, how does mediumship communication differ from angelic communication?
Yeah, it definitely differs. I always feel like tripling my prices when I do mediumship. Mediumship, when I talk to dead people, the biggest difference is you are dealing with a personality, a human personality. I'm not dealing that with angels or any divine source. I get nothing but pure love and pure light. As soon as I talk to a deceased person, I'm now bringing in their various personalities as to what they were like often when they were alive, which could be entertaining for sure, but it's definitely more work on my behalf. It really is. Yeah.
Has there ever been a time when you've done a medium or tried to do a medium connection with someone on the other side that the other person says, I don't want to?
No, it's the complete opposite. I'm waiting for that to happen. I've been doing this 20 years. Never happened. I've never had a deceased person ever say, yeah, I don't really want to talk to you at all. I have had it twice in 20 years, and I've spoken to tens of thousands of dead people, that the angel said, Karen, we can't bring this person through. Their vibrations are too low for you, because I have a cutoff line as to where I'm going to communicate with dead people. So it can't be just any dead person. They have to have a certain vibration, higher vibration to them. It's only happened twice where they're saying, Karen, the person you're trying to invoke is in a lower vibrational place that's going against your boundaries. Do you still want us to bring them through? And my answer is no, don't. If they're that low, I don't want them coming through this session.
Stand by, Karen. You and I have to take another break. X-Zone Nation, our guest this hour is Karen Forrest, and her website is KarenForrest.com. And as you know, X-Zone Nation, Karen is the angel lady. Oh, wow, angels. Angels abound this time of year. You see them on top of Christmas trees. You see them as ornaments on the trees. You see them on Christmas cards. And of course, we all know about the angel Gabriel. We also know about the angels that were at the manger when Jesus was born. I don't know. I believe in angels. Just thinking about them gives you a special feeling on the inside. Karen, thanks for being with us. We'll be back on the other side of this break, and you're listening to us on your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ AM, right here in St. Catharines, streaming us on classic1220.ca. And as well as listening to us and watching us on the Talkstar Radio Network, Mutual Broadcast Network, X-Zone Broadcast Network, and on Tuber. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Peace be to the world tonight. Love is coming, shining light, joy to... Cobblestone streets dressed in frost and light. Carriage bells echo through the night. Candles glowing in windows wide. Welcoming hearts by the fireside. Snowflakes dance.
Karen Forrest is our special guest. She is the angel lady. Her website is KarenForrest.com. Karen, what have the angels told you what it's like when we leave this realm, this plane, this dimension, and we return to spirit? What did they tell you about that?
Yeah, with angels, what they tell me is there's a beautiful peacefulness to this, and there's no judgment. There's absolutely no judgment, nothing to fear, nothing to be judged. But more importantly, it's the deceased people that tell me that. Those ones I'm listening to, the ones that have already gone through the process as a human. And what they're constantly saying, is there's a love to it. There's a lightness. There is no judgment. There is no fear. It was instant. They're always talking about it was instant. It was immediate transition. So I tend to even listen to the deceased people talk about that more, because they're the ones that have been through it versus listening to an angel.
Where did angels originate? What's the start of angels? We know that we're born and we know that we die. But Do we really know where angels actually started from? Who the first angel was? How was the angel conceived? Or is this one of the greatest mysteries of life?
Oh, that to me is a pure mystery. I have no idea. I wish I did, because I'm curious myself. But to answer your question, I honestly couldn't tell you that. No matter how much I ask angels and dead people those type of questions, I'm not getting an answer or I'll get something that to them is very honest, which is your mind cannot understand that here on earth. Like, yeah, well, thanks a lot. That's not helpful. So I don't know. I don't know. I know angels come from pure love and light, where that originated from. I have no idea.
What was it like the first time that you realized you were talking to someone who was on the other side, but they're dead?
Yeah, as I said, that did not happen to me as a child. That was with my training. And I remember the first time I was kind of terrified doing it, not terrified of the dead person, but can I receive anything? Will it work? Like, come on, I don't know about this. I didn't sign up for this. I just want to talk to angels, not dead people. But in my angel therapy practitioner course, part of our practice was practicing with each other on communicating with dead people. So I had one of the other participants there, and I said, look, there's this gentleman coming through, and he keeps showing me a map and a teddy bear. And then all of a sudden the guy burst into tears. I'm thinking, oh my God, like, did I mess this up? Like, what did I do? I got the guy crying right away. I've learned now to get used to that. I have a lot of people cry when I talk to dead people. But it was startling because I didn't know it meant nothing to me. The message meant nothing to me. It's not meant to mean anything to me. It meant something to him. He says the teddy bear was the first gift his partner ever gave him. I was talking to his husband. He says, it's the first gift my husband ever gave me. He says the map is representing that whenever we traveled, we did a lot of road trips, and my partner always used old-fashioned maps. He was always the one that navigated, but not using GPSs, those old-fashioned maps that he always used. So it was amazing is what it was, and very startling.
Now, are there different types of angels? Do we have, well, I know people talk about their guardian angels, and then there are, I would imagine, the regular angels, if there is such a thing.
Yeah, I call them regular angels, or I just call them angels.
Okay.
Then we have guardian angels who are with us throughout our lifetime, but very specific to us. Then there's various archangels, so there's various types of angels that people can work with. And I tell people, don't get wrapped up with all the different types of names. Just pick one that works for you, or pick a name. I don't care if you're saying God, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Mother Mary, Saint Teresa, angels, guardian. Just pick one that works for you, or pick a few. I work with all of them because of my spiritual training.
Do guardian angels work with us from the time we're born? Do they stay with us throughout our lives?
Yeah, that's what I love about the guardian angels. That's why when I do private sessions with people, I am invoking their guardian angels. They are with you from before you're even born, helping you with your soul contract throughout your whole lifetime, and then when you cross over, and then back in heaven or the afterlife, and then you reincarnate and you're back with them again. So they're always with you, and they're very specific to you.
What's a soul contract?
Soul contract is when your soul says, when you're in the afterlife before you reincarnate or are born here on earth, that says, hey, here's what I like to do on this earth plane. Here's some of the life lessons I like to learn. Here's some of the ways I like to contribute to the world or focus on my life path. Now, whether you live up to that or not, that's another thing. But your soul can be a little lofty in what it wants to learn and achieve in this lifetime. So that's your soul contract.
How do angels view free will? We're all told that we have free will. Do they step back until we explicitly ask for their help, or do they just at times say, listen, you're not getting the message, you're going to fall off the cliff, I'm just going to push you back, make sure you don't, and maybe it'll click on you that, whoa, must have been my guardian angel.
I'm sure it's been both. I love it. Yeah, we have free will. So the angels are there saying, look, I'm trying to guide you. I'm trying to nudge you forward. I'm trying to tell you what to do to make your life easier for yourself. That is the free will part. But they can intervene in life-threatening situations too. And it's just not our time to die to say, hey, look, I'm going to intervene and try and save your life here. So honestly, both, but for the most part, it is free will. They're not going to force us to do anything we choose not to do, and they don't judge us for it either if we choose not to do something.
Have you ever encountered resistance? By that I mean either spiritual or personal when delivering an angel message.
The angels don't resist me, and neither do dead people. It's the person I'm giving the
The
message to
living.
that can resist. Yes, that's common, and I don't mind that. I'm used to that as a counselor
Hmm.
because people are like, "Yeah, no, I don't want to hear that." Yeah, well, you're gonna hear it because this is what they're telling you need to do. But they can be resistant because it involves change or involves doing something that maybe they don't want to do, even though they know in their heart it's what they need to do. So I get resistance, but I don't mind that because that's normal human nature. My job is to look at what's happening that you're resisting this message. Let's look at that, bring some more awareness to you so that you can make a decision. Are you going to let some of that resistance go or not? So it's my job as a counselor, a spiritual counselor, to help bring that awareness to someone when they're resisting. But I resist messages. As I said, I'm not always gracious when they give me a message. I'm just not. They tell me write a book. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so, Angel. I'm not doing that. It just sounds like a lot of unpaid hours, which it was. But I did it. Bottom line, I do listen to them. But I grumble a lot. I resist a lot when they tell me to do things.
Do they ever get fed up with you?
No, God love them. That's why they're angels, pure love and pure light. That humans will get fed up. I tell people, don't be putting human limitations on a divine source. They don't, but humans will get very annoyed. Angels, they just sit there with a smile on their face. They're just so always so happy, so joyful, so full of love. Anytime I do, I'm like, do you not get annoyed, angels? Because sometimes you annoy me because you don't get annoyed. And they're like, yeah, no, we don't do that.
It's not our shtick.
No, that's right.
What do angels want humanity to understand most clearly at this point in our collective evolution?
Well, yeah, when I look at that with angels, really what they're saying is respecting each other's differences.
Yeah.
We're all different as humans, and that's okay. Embrace it more. Like, just embrace it more because there's more than one way to an angel, to God, to the divine source. And they also remind people, for heaven's sakes, have some fun in life. Like, have that balance. Yes, we get sometimes life's not easy, but we also need to offset that with some fun times too.
In your readings, do angels ever comment on humanity's relationship with the earth, nature, and animals?
Oh gosh, yes. Especially if I'm communicating with fairies, which are nature's angels. Absolutely they do. Again, not in a judgmental way. They're not here to judge. But it will come up frequently when even when people aren't asking of simple things like, yeah, we do ask that you do a little bit better with recycling or be a little more cautious with the earth or what you're buying and paying a little bit more awareness to it. It can kind of vary with each person. So for example, for me, because I do live by the ocean, I'm always picking up garbage that could, especially if it's plastic, that could possibly get in the ocean. The angels will bring it to my attention. I'm picking it up, because I do not want that in the ocean. Even when I'm down in Mexico, doing the same thing because they know how much I care about the ocean. Where for someone else, it could be trees, and then they're helping them have that connection with the trees.
So we can say that angels are eco-friendly.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Oh, cool. How do skeptics respond to the fact that you talk to angels, and how does that message resonate with the angels?
Angels don't care because they don't judge. So they're like, yeah, believe me, don't believe me, whatever. They don't care. I don't tend to care either because I have a healthy self-esteem. So someone says, I don't believe you. I'm like, then don't. I don't care. If you believe in what I do or what I don't, I'm fine either way. But I'm also busy, so it get lost. I gotta go focus on the people who are interested in what I have to say. So I don't get worked up or try to convince anyone of anything. More because I don't want to increase intolerance. If you don't believe in it, it's okay. I didn't always believe in talking to dead people or dead people you could. Like, I didn't believe in it until I started taking my training, and it was hard for me to ignore it because it kept coming up. So I get it. And I'm not here to convince anyone of anything because I don't want to create intolerance. I've witnessed enough of that in my military career. I don't want to contribute to that.
What was it in your training that made it possible for you to do what you're doing?
The biggest part is with my mentors, my teachers are teaching us to trust what we receive. Also to have some fun with it, which I do. I tell people don't take it so seriously. It is meant to be fun. lighten up, relax about it, but also just believe, because like through practice, they made it clear, look, go practice it. You'll see for yourself. And that's what I had to do. Because when they were talking about reincarnation or talking to dead people, I'm like, oh, come on, God, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up to talk to dead people. I just want to talk to angels. And God's like, no, I need you to do both, because you're a spiritual counselor, you're a healer. And when you're counseling people, if they're grieving, they have to talk to those that have passed on. So it was really, they taught me open up my mind too. Open up my mind, and that was a big stretch for me. Especially when they're talking about fairies. I'm like, I don't believe in fairies. I do now, but I didn't then. They're talking about things I didn't believe in, so I really just had to try to keep my mind open as much as possible, and they encouraged that. So at my own pace.
So basically, you had a spiritual rebirth.
Oh, I most certainly did.
Yeah.
Very steep one. Yes, I did. Yeah, huge.
All right, Karen, you and I have to take our final break for this hour. Exonation, Karen Forrest is our special guest, www.karenforrest.com. And we'll be back on the other side of this break as the Exxon continues. Just a reminder that if you would like to get your very own copy of Merry Christmas 2025, with all the Christmas bumpers that you will be hearing until New Year's, you lucky bunch of people, all you need to do is go to rel-mar.hearnow.com, and there's sampling of all the music as well as links to where you can purchase them. Yes, Merry Christmas 2025 is available on Amazon.ca and .com. You're listening to us from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, and streaming around the world on your hometown radio, Classic 1220 CFAJ at classic1220.ca.
Hearts open wide, children's laughter fills the sky. From far and near they come. Snowflakes falling on Ontario Street. Downtown lights are shining soft and sweet. Voices laughing, sleigh bells near. It's the magic time of year. From Port Dalhousie to Meriton's glow, families gather where warm hearts go. There's peace and love. The world feels right on this gentle Christmas night. It's Christmas in St. Catharines, where the well and waters gleam.
Karen Forrest is our special guest, the Angel Lady, KarenForrest.com. One of the questions I'm sure you get asked is how can people know if angels are actually trying to get their attention? What are some of the signs that people should look out for? Or pay attention to, I should say.
Yeah. First, the repetitiveness. If something tells you over and over and over again, that's a divine message. If it feels really strong, and people use those words, it feels so strong, I feel pulled towards this. Like I cannot ignore it as much as I want to. That's a divine message. That's a message from your angels. And if you sit with it and just ask yourself, does this feel right to me? And you sit with it and it feels right, then that's another sign this is from your angels.
Do angels give people warnings or guidance about upcoming life challenges, or do they strictly focus on the comfort and support?
Both. It's more in the here and now, though. So, as I said, when I've gone through significant concerns or life struggles, they're there for me. They're absolutely there for me. I don't necessarily get warning it's about to happen. Pretty rare. I remember a couple times where just before someone close to me passed, where I just I felt like I was grieving for no reason. I didn't know why. Now I've learned to recognize that. So then I'm like, oh, just wait. They're trying to tell me something's about to happen. And then I'd find out and like, oh, now I understand why I felt sad for 2 days before this person died. I didn't know it was about to happen. So they're kind of giving me like what I call military terms, a heads up about that. But they're guarding you. They're sending you comfort. You can see they're not asking for very specific guidance. I do that all the time for my life and for other people's lives, and they're there to give you very specific answers, but it's very much focused on the here and now.
How can listeners begin building their own relationships with their angels, Karen?
First, by giving themselves permission to do so. That's where it starts to say, hey, you know what? I actually want a relationship with you. Just start with that simple step. Then sit with them each day, even if it's only for 30 seconds, because that's how you start to get familiar with their energy and familiar with their peacefulness. Because I often find when I'm working with my clients, some of them are really not used to that peaceful energy, and I can tell them, like, you're not used to this, are you? Like, this feels very foreign to you to be around peaceful, calm energy. And they're like, yeah, I'm not used to that. I'm like, okay, we'll just sit with it a little bit more, because then it won't be so foreign when you're asking for help or needing help or getting guidance or feeling their energy around you. So it's practicing. Then the next biggest thing I tell people, ask them for your help in your daily life, because then you will see results like I did. I was really shocked when I started to ask their angels for everyday things, including providing the means for things, how quickly I would get answers and would see results. And then it's hard for me to ignore their ability to help you in your daily life when I was seeing results.
How can people differentiate between an angel message, something that either an angel is telling them or somebody on the other side is telling them from their own imagination, that they want to hear something so strongly, so bad, that they start to question their own selves? And how do they differentiate between the real message and the message that they're giving themselves?
Yeah, and it's not always easy, and it comes with practice, honestly. It just does. Because they're going to be like blurred lines there. When you're working with angels and your loved ones in heaven, they're going to give you the same advice. They're not going to give conflicting advice. The wording can be a little bit different, and humans will have a humanness in their wording and some judgment in the wording that an angel won't have, but they're still going to tell you to do the same thing. So when people are like, look, I really want this, how do I know this is, it's not just me saying I want this, it's them saying this is a good thing for me. That's where I say sit down, connect with an angel or a dead person, connect with just one at a time, and say, you and only you, angels or dead people, what do you have to say? And then you're pinpointing yourself to focus on what they're saying and getting out of your own head. And then it comes from them. The more often you do with it, the easier it gets. You stop doubting yourself. I don't doubt my abilities anymore at all. I just do it all day long. I'm so used to it. But at first, I'm like, oh, well, let's just see, am I making stuff up? People often ask that. Like, how do I know I'm not making it up? Well, first, yeah, which is a good question. First of all, I'm giving messages to other people, but honestly, even for myself, I'm not creative enough. I wish I was. That is so not my reality. I'm like, I am not creative enough to make this stuff up at the last second. Like, I only wish I was that creative. If I was a creative person, maybe that would be more of a question. I'm not. Okay. And the answer is instant, too. It's instant. I'm not that fast of a thinker. I'm just not. And neither are you. So it's coming from them.
Do angels have sense of humor? Are they comics? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're so funny. So's God. They're funny. And at first I didn't know that, because more in a religious sense, you're not taught about the sense of humor that they have. They take it pretty intense and serious. And then when I'm working with them, I'm like, you're making me laugh. The words you choose, the things you say, the images you show me, you're making me laugh. You have a sense of humor, and I love that about working with angels.
How do the people that you're working with who are actually getting the angel reading, how do they like it when you start laughing because the angels are playing you, are kibitzing with you?
They think it's funny too.
Yes, eh?
And it makes it more personable and more human-like, because it's hard to connect or feel a connection with something that you can't even laugh with, right? When you can laugh with a being, including an angel, it makes it more likable or relatable to you. But it can be a little starting. They're like, angels got a sense of humor. I'm like, yeah, they do. They do. They make me laugh all the time. So do your dead relatives. They make me laugh even harder. But certainly angels do too. Yeah.
You know, here we are. We're in the Christmas season of 2025. How do you celebrate Christmas, Karen?
Oh, a family. Christmas Eve, 13 people at my house on this Christmas Eve. We love being around family and friends, so we have a large group coming for typical Maritimer dinner. We're having seafood chowder and very typical meat pie, French Canadian meat pie. Christmas Day is with part of my family, but not all of them because I got too many people. I'm very lucky, but a lot of my family live nearby me, so
right.
Got a few family relatives I'm spending Christmas Day with. But for me, it's like a seasonal thing. I've already started. I'm already going to events with my brother for a Christmas concert this week. I'm going to a hotel in Halifax with my sister to see some Christmas plays. So the seasons are. So for me, it's just taking time for being with my friends and my family.
When you've got 13 members of your family in your house, how many angels are there as well? There must be more angels than people.
There is. And dead people. That's what's even more funny. Is at least although they're my relatives, they're relatives too that are dead. But then we have some friends thrown in, so I'm picking up on the energy of all these divine beings, all their guardian angels, the fairies, which are the elementals that I invite for any family get together, and our dead relatives that I'm picking up on because they're part of the celebration. And that's a common message our loved ones from heaven say this time of year is like, we're going to be there. We're not missing out. We are going to be there. And it's also my busiest season for mediumship. People are trying to, they miss their loved ones. They're trying to bring them into their celebrations over the holidays. So I only take 4 days off for Christmas. That's it. That's all I have time for. I'm very busy leading up to Christmas. And then the week after is one of my busiest weeks of the year.
Karen, what is the most important message that the angels are asking you to share with the world tonight here on the X Zone Broadcast Network?
Believe in themselves and the greatness of who they are. So believe in themselves as a human, as a person, and the greatness. The angels are always trying to help us recognize the greatness within us, and we don't give ourselves enough credit for how great we are. And they're trying to help us recognize that.
All right, that was the message from the angels. Now, what is your message that you would like to leave with listeners of the X Zone?
What I want people to know, they're not alone in this world. I know sometimes people feel lonely, but please reach out to some divine being, whatever name you want to put to it, or a deceased person that you feel most comfortable with. Just pick somebody. You're not alone in this world. You're absolutely not alone.
What are your plans for next year?
Next year, well, definitely a trip to Mexico, probably in April. And I'm looking at going to Ottawa for the Governor General Awards again this year. And other than that, not too sure, but I do love to travel quite a bit. So no doubt some more traveling.
Your books, where are your books available, Karen?
Yeah, you can go through my website and it will have the information there. But Amazon sells them. Chapters will sell them online. And then my publisher, Nimbus Publishing, also sells my books.
Are you going to be doing any online courses this year?
Probably not online. I am too lazy to learn and figure that out. But I am doing more courses. For a while, I stopped doing them during like COVID and a few years after.
That was bad, yeah.
But now I'm starting to get back. But most of them are in person, not online. Yeah.
When you were a little girl, did you ever think that you would be doing what you do today? The Karen, the angel lady, talking to angels and dead people and fairies?
No, I never thought about that. As a little girl, I dreamt more of being a nurse, which I was in the military, and certainly counseling people. So I do that, but I never saw it as let's talk to angels and dead people type of counseling. Even in my 20s, not to my late 30s, that I'd even start to conceive of that aspect of my life. Because it's unique what I do. I didn't know anyone who did that for a living and did it professionally and did it more than just as a flaky psychic looking into your future. My focus is healing with people and counseling them because of my mental health background.
Right. Karen, I want to thank you very much, first of all, for your service.
Thank you.
And thank you for being the angel lady and for helping so many people on and off air. So until next time we meet, if I don't have the opportunity of speaking to you before Christmas, a very Merry Christmas to you and yours, and nothing but health, happiness, and love in the new year.
Thank you. I'm excited about the new year.
You too. Take care, Karen. And Exonation, once again, if you'd like to contact Karen, the angel lady, her website is KarenForrest.com. That's it for this hour. I will be back on the other side of this very short break as we continue here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studio in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to send me a message, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, and on all social media sites, X Zone Radio TV. Oh, wow. What a night. Angels, my favorite topic. And I'm a believer in angels. I really am. And people who have been listening to the show these many years that we've been on air have heard the stories that I've told about my experiences with angels. We'll be back on the other side of this break as hour number 2 of the X Zone starts right now.
Downtown lights are shining soft and sweet. Voices laugh and sleigh bells near. It's the magic time of year. From Port Dalhousie to